Hey YouTube, it's Naluch here. I'm from St. Catharines, Ontario. This is May 6, 2017. I can't ride my bike just because it's raining and it's about 6 degrees Celsius. So I figured I'd come in here and do a little review of this 2007 Harley Davidson Road King FLHR. It is a 96 cubic inch engine, 6-speed. 96 cubic inches works out to about 1580 cc's. This is the entry level for a touring model for Harley Davidson. You can go up from here. The reason why I purchased this bike was because I rode a Sportster and I loved it. It was the Iron 83. I loved it, but I wanted a stronger engine. I wanted the touring capabilities with the hard bags and the better suspension and the windshield. So instead of adding those components to the Sportster, I figured I'd just move up. The reason why I moved up to the Road King was because it's a bare bones motorcycle. When I close my eyes and I think of a motorcycle, it's basically just engine and two wheels and a seat. So you add a few little frills like windshield and some bags, and well, there you go, you have a Road King. So I bought this bike used. I'm the third owner. It's a 2007, so it's about 10 years old. A few things I can tell you about the bike is that it has an air breather on it. That's a Screaming Eagle air breather. You can't really see the pipes, but got dual pipes in the back here, and those are Vance and Hines slip-ons. Okay. The wind I have. Hang on, before I go into the windshield, those are 16-inch ape hangers that were added by the previous owner. Stock handlebar height is 12 inches. Okay, and the windshield was also changed by the previous owner. It's a Harley Davidson windshield, but it's only 14 inches from the headlamp to the top of the windshield. So the headlamp here, from here to here, is about 14 inches. Stock on the Road King is about 20. I called Harley, and that's what they told me. And for me, I like the way it looks with the windshield lower than the handlebars. I think that's cool. But I'm still getting a lot of wind in my face and into my chest while I'm riding, especially at high speeds, mostly because my arms are basically hanging in the air. So basically my body is like a wind sail. So I need a little bit more wind protection with the windshield. So I have to go to about maybe 17 inches. So I have to upgrade, or I have to basically replace this 14-inch windshield. Some critiques about the bike. I don't have many issues with the bike, but I'll give you a few critiques with this model. Is that it comes with spoke wheels. So my plan in the future is to upgrade to a mag wheel. The spoke rim wheels, they look nice. They got it's a classic look, but they're a bitch to clean, and really spending like close to an hour cleaning them and polishing them and making sure they're nice. I really don't want to spend that time on cleaning my bike when I'd rather be riding it. Another critique is the seat itself. So if you do your research, you'll find out that Harley Davidson stock seats aren't the greatest. Now this seat is better than my stock sporty seat. It's a little wider and it's a little deeper and what have you. And even for the passenger, this pylon seat here, which is attached, is all one piece. But this pylon area here, it's more comfortable for my passenger, my girlfriend. But it's still, after about 2 hours of riding, it kind of hurts. It feels like you're getting pressure sores. So how I accommodate would be you can buy a better seat, a little bit more comfy, like maybe like a Mustang seat or something like that. But I use I utilize my highway pegs, and that really helps me basically relieve pressure off my coccyx, aka tailbone, when I'm riding. The footboards and the highway pegs really allow me to adjust my seating position while I'm doing the long rides. Another critique I have is the bags. Now, I don't mind the size of the bags. I don't mind the look of the bag. I don't mind the space inside the bag. I just hate what it takes to open them. So let me just try with one hand here. So there's a latching system here that you open up. You have to lift it, and then you have to basically finagle this corner so that you can kind of get it away. And then there's some latches here. There's some attachments here. There's a latch there, and it opens up from there. So see, there you go. That hooks into like a space here. You can't really see. It's all black, but nonetheless, it's not a quick opening. It's not a quick opening bag, right? It's a lot of space, like you can see there, right? But to open and close it, you got to kind of do a little bit of finagling, right? So look, yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I'm not too much of a fan of. I'll just take care of that later. Okay. Next, a thing that I'm, with this model, I'm not really too happy about with this model is that it doesn't have like an alarm system. The 2008s, I believe, start having factory alarm systems. But this one here is basically once you shut it off, this is your ignition switch here. Once you shut off the ignition switch and you walk away without locking it, anyone can just walk up to it, turn it back on, and fire it up, and away they go. So it has the locking system here. So this here locks and unlocks your ignition, and then it also comes with your handlebar locking here. But you can always upgrade. You can always add an aftermarket security system. I'm not planning to, but I always make sure I just lock it. But that's one thing. That's another critique I have. This bike has some speakers there with an auxiliary cord I can plug into my iPod, which I've never used it yet. The speakers work, but I'd rather be riding and hearing what's going on around me as opposed to listening to my music. The footboards themselves, these are stock. They're just rubber footboards. These are passenger footboards here. It's all stock. You got a heel shifter and your shifter itself. I added the heel shifter. I'm not sure if just the regular shifter comes stock without a heel shifter, but I wanted the heel shifter, so I just bought it on eBay. Another issue I have is let's take a look here. Sorry guys, going around the bike here. So basically, this is how the windshield mounts. You have this bracket right here, which fits into, it fits into some rubber grommets right about there. Between like the fork and this area here that holds this lamp on. There's some rubber grommets, and these brackets, which are made of metal, they fit into the rubber grommet. So over time, taking them in and out chews up the rubber grommet. So it's not really quick release in its purest fashion. It's more like it just holds it in place, and then it just you fit the bracket into the rubber grommet. So over time and wear and tear, it's gonna wear down. Now at Harley, they cost about $8 a grommet, so you need 4 of them. So you're looking at $32 or so with tax. You're looking at $40. I bought some OEM ones online to replace them. Cost me a little bit cheaper, but nonetheless, it's something that you could maybe consider upgrading. But that's a kind of one flaw, I think, but it's very, very insignificant. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You got double disc brakes in the front. You got a single disc brake in the back. The calipers, they're Harley's made improvements to the calipers themselves. So replacing the brake pads and what have you is a lot easier on the later model touring bikes. So it takes a little bit of finagling with with these brakes. I changed the rear brakes a couple weeks ago, and it took me about an hour. But you know, in the later models, the later models, you know, Harley, because they listen to their clients and their customers, they've made like changes to make it easier, right? What else can I tell you? I've done all the work to this bike myself in terms of like maintenance. Like as soon as I purchased it, I changed all the fluids. So 3 fluids. You need your engine oil, your primary oil, and your transmission oil. And you need to put respective oils, the amounts. You need to put them appropriately. You need a certain amount. So I just, I downloaded the manual online, watched a bunch of videos, and followed along and basically did it myself. I also adjusted the throttle cable and the clutch cable, and that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, I'm not really a wrench kind of guy. I'd rather be riding a motorcycle than wrenching on it. But I did that stuff myself. Even the brakes did myself. So happy about that. I'm not going to start the bike up just because my garage is closed and it's cold outside. But the bike sounds like a Harley. You know what I mean? So you watch some guys ride, or females, guys or gals riding their bikes in front of your house, or at a bike rally or what have you, and that classic sound that Harley gives you, that classic sound, that classic shake. That's what this bike will give you. That's one of the main reasons why I decided to buy a Harley Davidson as opposed to any other bikes out there, is because of the visceral feeling I got when I was around the bike. There's a lot of competitors out there. There's a lot of bikes out there. They're all great. There's a lot of pros and cons to every bike, every model. Personally, I did a lot of research when I purchased my motorcycles, and this one here was best fit for me. I rode a bunch of bikes. I read about them. I talked to other motorcyclists, and the Harley Davidson was the best fit for me. So for those of you who are just entering into the world of motorcycling, or looking to upgrade, or looking to make the switch from one bike to another, that you got to take all those factors into consideration. The look, the feel, how it rides, your budget, maintenance, usability, reliability, all those things have to come into contact. So do your homework, folks. So another reason why I decided to upgrade was because of the handling of this bike. It's a touring bike, so it's meant to do long trips. It's meant to handle curves and long rides. The handling on this bike, once I got used to it with the weight change as opposed to my Sportster, and the high handlebars, the 16-inch ape hangers there, once I got used to it, about a good few long rides, the bike handles very well. I'm comfortable with it. I can handle it a lot easier. I have the confidence to handle it, and it didn't take me very long. But with that being said, the bike handles quite nicely. Once you get it moving, man, it's great. The suspension is an air suspension, and you can calibrate it to what your body type is like. I'm basically just an average height and weight guy. So really I don't have to make much adjustability, as opposed to say somebody who's 270 and 6'3", right? So, but the air ride shocks are much more comfortable than your standard shocks, like spring-loaded shocks, like on your Sportsters and stuff like that. I found that going over a bump or hitting a pothole on my Sportster rattled my vertebrae all the way up to my brain. But hitting a bump on this is like, it's like nothing. It feels great, and I'm actually surprised every time I hit something. So that's that. Other things that I can tell you about the bike is that it's bare bones. It's a bare bones bike, right? It is a touring model, but it's bare bones. It doesn't have many frills. other than just a stronger engine, 6 speeds, a windshield, and some bags. You know, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? It's very bare bones, but that's why I bought it. I wanted a bare bones motorcycle. I wanted something that I can enjoy, and I can enjoy the freedom of being on the motorcycle without you know, music distractions and navigation systems and all that shit, right? That's me though. I mean, a lot of people out there, they swear by their, you know, their road glides, their electric glides, and more power to them. I mean, but those guys are also probably riding, you know, thousands and thousands of kilometers across country, where I'm not doing that right now. Like, this is basically a bike that I take to and from work, a bike that I ride along on weekends, and, you know, I'll probably do a few weekend trips, you know, maybe a few hundred kilometers away, and then maybe 1 to 2 big trips a year. You know, I'm not like the guys and girls that, you know, do massive trips very frequently throughout the year. So, but again, this is my first year with this bike. I mean, give me another 2 years, 3 years, and things might change. I might want the luxuries of the higher end touring bikes. But for me right now, looking within, you know, the year and maybe the next 2 years, maybe even 5 years, the Road King is ideal, more than ideal for me. That's pretty much it. Let me see, maybe I can unlock the bike. I can show you a few things, but the dash is pretty simple. I don't have my keys on me. I have it locked up. But the dash is simple. It has your kilometers. It records your trip. It has a clock on it. You know, if you set the time, you have a tachometer here. That's your tachometer, and this is your speedometer here. This one here is a Canadian bike, so it's in kilometers per hour. You got a fuel gauge right there, measuring, you know, empty, full or empty, and even a display here, a digital display that tells you how much fuel you have and what have you. This is your gas cap here, so you fill up your fuel. This baby takes the highest octane, so here in Canada, 97 octane. That's what this baby takes. I do have quick release sissy bar for my passenger. That could probably accommodate for a tour pack as well, but you know, I don't really have that. I have an upgraded rear light here, so when I hit the brake, it flashes red, which is, you know, the more they can see you, the better it is. You know, my foot pedals are all stock, right? Floorboards are stock, right? I got this is just a blacked out heat shield, but nothing special. And that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you found it informative. I apologize for the crudity of the video. I apologize for my really small garage, but hopefully the information provided was beneficial. And if you have any further questions or comments, feel free to drop me a line. You know, I'm pretty new to this, but I'm also a very, very informed consumer. You know, I do my research, I do my homework, and you know, I'll tell you how it is. Okay, well, enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the road. Be safe.